Hey everybody, Brian Boyle here, and welcome to episode 94 of the Mesh Tongue. It's Tuesday, and having a good day so far. So hopefully you are as well. And hey, keep those questions, comments rolling in. Brian, Brian at company the number 5k.com, and be happy to get back to you with those answers. So today, if you recall, we've talked about in episode 19, so you can go back a few episodes, we're at 94, so episode 19, talked about the upper body, talked about the anatomy between scalene muscles, the pec minor. Quite oftentimes we'll get into this rounded shoulder posture, especially if you're stressed, if you're under a lot of tension at work and you're using running as a stress reliever. If you're already kind of here in this posture, we got to get rid of this posture. You'll get tightness to the chest wall. If you're a track runner, quite oftentimes we'll see from running on the same direction on a track, you'll get this overcompensation from the arm. It's usually the outside arm that is kind of getting more swing and kind of tension and tightness there. It doesn't always happen, but see it quite often and often enough, especially if you're doing a lot of track running and such, that these symptoms will kind of develop, and they may develop on the dominant side. You go to work using a computer, mouse, texting, whatever, and then you get on the track if you're doing a workout. So sometimes we get this overdevelopment. So I wanted to give you, because last time I showed you in episode 19, I showed you a few different things with the Q-flex or that trigger point release to try and get those muscles to relax through that. Well, I wanted to show you two real quick exercises that will help with upper body posture. All right, so we know that we're usually tight through the front. Now these are exercises that are going to specifically target the upper back. These are really good for runners, especially if your posture is starting to suffer and we're kind of that's a good word, curling forward, and we've got this rounded shoulder posture. Quite oftentimes through the repetition we'll get this kind of ache, dull ache, maybe a little tension headache, and so on. So without further ado, I've got this is about a heavy resistance band. It's about, I cut about 3 feet, and then I tie into knots. Okay, so generally speaking, if you're holding here, your arm should be without any resistance on it, should be about shoulder length apart. So figure out what that is for you. If you've got a smaller shoulders, smaller frame, you don't need as much. If you've got bigger frame, again, you may need more. But the goal is to have this at, has some pretty good tension on it by the time you even start. You can go through the color charts, whichever resistance bands you have. I usually like laying down on the table or the floor, since most of you will have a bed, or a wall, so that you've got some frame of reference. Because what you want to do is you want to have the back of your head, the shoulders, and the hips in this line. So you'd have this reference point so you know where your shoulders are, so that you're not curled forward or you don't have your head forward. You'd be in good posture straight up and down. So for intents purposes here, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the exercise. So we're going to start off straight arms out. You're going to pull straight out, come touch the chest, and then back in. Now notice my head didn't come forward. Everything's staying back. Pinch the shoulder blades back and together. Okay, come on back. We set a timer for 1 minute. We go until that timer stops, and then you stop. I'll show you from the side here. So the key with this, again, is that we're keeping this upper posture. Okay, as I pull back, and my shoulders aren't pushed forward, they're all the way back, so they should be touching the wall or the floor. I'm going to pull straight back. Okay, notice I've pulled straight back, my head didn't come forward, so I'm not trying to chicken head here. Okay, head stays back, hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, come on back. 2, 3, 4, 5, relax. All right, and through that time, all right, my shoulders never move from the same spot, so I don't come forward each and every time. So that's the first one. The reason why I like this is that a band fits in just about any running bag. You usually can have it in a computer bag, so if you're sitting at a desk all day, take the band out, work on that. Next one, you're going to start off low. Okay, think about a foosball player. They've got, if you've ever played foosball, they've got that rod through each of the players and they swivel around. That's what you're going to be like on a rotisserie or the foosball. So you start low, you're going to come up and overhead. Okay, you're going to hold that resistance on there a couple seconds, come on back down. Again, the key is you don't have the head come forward and you don't hike the shoulders. So we don't want to hike the shoulders. Okay, the shoulders should be relaxed, coming straight up. Come on back down. Okay, and then you can relax when you come in. All right, get all the way down. Up and over, Again, you're gonna hold that a couple seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, come on back down. If you can only get up to here before your shoulders start lifting or before you start rotating or arching the back, that's where you start, or that's where I should say you stop, okay? So again, from the side, we're coming through here, my shoulders aren't hiking, I'm relaxing my shoulders, coming up and over, we're rotating through. Okay, if my back starts to arch, I can just kind of correct there. If I can only get to here before my shoulders start to move or before my back starts to arch, then that's where I stop. Come on back down. Again, no head coming forward. Over time, the repetition of this is what's going to be the most important thing. So repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. You'll start moving, you'll start noticing that you'll have more range, you'll feel better, the upper chest wall will feel more relaxed, you'll feel more relaxed and comfortable through the upper body. Again, the reason why this is so important in running is that, again, any inefficiency, anything, if you're crossing the shoulders and the arms, if you're forward and you're tight, anything through here that you're not getting the nice deep breaths that you should be because you're restricted through the upper body and the chest wall, that's going to be a detriment to your running, especially if you're trying to go for a PR. Now, if you're just using it, like I said, for stress reduction, what better way to help reduce the stress throughout the day? Work on your posture, work on the strengthening exercises, then you go out for your run, you're going to be that much more efficient, that much better. Okay? So real easy, 2 exercises. I could show you 100 more. Maybe I will some other episode. If you've got questions, leave those below, comments, anything else that you use that you found has been effective, let me know. This is Brian Boyle, runpainless.com. You can check that out as well. In episode 94 of The Mesh Tongue. Ooh, we are close to 100. I can taste it. But we're chucking along here, and be sure to tell your friends, your family, your training partners about this. Whatever you do, don't go hurt yourself to come back. I'll see you again tomorrow for episode 95. That's Wednesday. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. All right.